Did you know that a princess who many believed escaped a brutal assassination actually had her fate sealed by a tiny, almost invisible clue in a Siberian forest? It wasn't some grand conspiracy theory that unraveled the mystery of Grand Duchess Anastasia Romanov, but something far more chillingly mundane. Picture this. It's the early 20th century, and Russia is a powder keg. Tsar Nicholas II, his Empress Alexandra, and their 5 children, Olga, Tatiana, Maria, Anastasia and the young heir Alexei, are the last of the Romanov dynasty, which had ruled for over 300 years since 1613 with Michael I. But their time was running out. The Bolshevik Revolution, ignited in October 1917, swept across Russia like a wildfire. Vladimir Lenin and his revolutionaries were tearing down the old order, and the Romanovs, seen as symbols of the old regime, were in grave danger. After abdicating in March 1917, Nicholas II and his family were held under house arrest, first in the Alexander Palace at Tsarskoye Selo, then Tobora, and finally in the merchant's house of Ipatiev in Yekaterinburg, Siberia. Now imagine being locked away, knowing your family's fate hangs by a thread. What would you do? Would you try to hide? Would you resist? On the night of July 16, 1918, the Romanovs were awoken and told to prepare for relocation. But there was no relocation. Instead, they were led to a basement room. Waiting for them were Jacob Yurovsky, the commandant of the Ipatiev house, and his execution squad. The air was thick with tension, dread. Nicholas II, Alexandra, their 4 daughters, Alexei, and even their loyal doctor Eugene Botkin, maid Anna Demidova, cook Ivan Kharitonov, and valet Alexei Trupp were all there. The executions were brutal, chaotic. The firing squad opened fire, but it wasn't as simple as it sounds. The Grand Duchesses had sewn jewels into their corsets, hoping to preserve their wealth. But these same jewels acted as makeshift bulletproof vests, deflecting the initial shots. This meant the executioners had to finish them with bayonets and pistol whips, turning an already horrific event into something even more gruesome. It's the kind of detail that makes you wonder, what were their final thoughts? Did they know what was happening until the very end? After the massacre, the bodies were loaded onto a truck and driven to the Koptyaki forest. There, they were initially thrown into an abandoned mine shaft, but later, Yurovsky and his men returned, retrieved the bodies, and buried them in a more concealed grave, dousing them with sulfuric acid to prevent identification. They even tried to burn 2 of the bodies completely. For decades, the official Soviet story was that the entire family had been executed, but